the other folks, chief went up to, did he go up to LA?
No, he went to the zoo. The same.
Sergeant Leonard Flake, Leonard, F as in Frank, Lake.
So, Sarge, can you just take us through what happened this evening?
Sure. At approximately 6:23 p.m., two vehicles were traveling here on Carmel Valley Road, the Fiat in an easterly direction and the Nova in a westerly direction. And the Fiat crossed over the center divider, striking the Nova vehicle as it was proceeding west on Carmel Valley Road. Officers arrived at the scene, tried to sort some things out. The Nova driver, female, is deceased here at the scene. The driver of the Nova is a 30-year-old male. He has been placed under arrest for driving under the influence. And at this point, he'll be processed at the police headquarters and booked into county jail.
And is that really, do you guys believe that was the cause of the accident, driving under the influence?
Well, the fact that he crossed over the center divider is the cause of the collision. The impairment also is certainly something to contribute to it and be considered, yes.
And how severe was the impairment? Was he, was he way over the legal limit, or was he?
Well, I can just tell you that he is over the legal limit, and he has been placed under arrest.
Oh my gosh! And real quick correction. I think that you put the driver, the victim, in the wrong car. If you'd help us out with that one.
The decedent was driving the Nova vehicle, traveling west on Carmel Valley Road.
And that was a female, 28?
Female. We don't know her age at this time.
Okay.
And the male driving the Fiat was traveling east on Carmel Valley Road and crossed over into the westbound lane.
What will you guys be doing this evening?
We're going to continue to collect evidence, take some photographs, make the road safe. As far as an environmental standpoint, there are some fluids that have leaked on the roadway. We need to get those cleaned up, and just documenting all the points of evidence and continuing the investigation. We'll probably be here for a couple of hours and have the roadway closed.
Sergeant, as a traffic officer and seeing so many of these things, is this just frustrating to see something like this?
It is, because the horn has been sounded many, many times for many years, continually, about the perils of drinking and driving. Here yet is another example of what frequently occurs when people make the choice to drink and then get behind the wheel and drive. You impact other people, other families, communities, and it's just a tragic result to something that could have been avoided.
And what are you looking towards? The charges, will they be manslaughter? Could they potentially be murder in this case?
That would be ultimately up to the district attorney to decide what the arrestee would be charged with. But from our standpoint at this point in time, we're looking at a felony manslaughter charge.
How fast was the vehicle driving?
Those factors are yet to be determined. The investigation is still ongoing.
Were there any brake marks at all? It doesn't seem to be.
There are some markings in the roadway. They're still being evaluated as to exactly what the cause of those were, whether they were braking or centrifugal scuffing. There are all sorts of variables that come into play, and the officers are well trained in those facets, and they're continuing the investigation for that to determine those facts.
We heard that the person in the Fiat refused to be extricated from the car. Is that?
I don't have that information at this point in time. To my knowledge, he was when I arrived, he was out of the vehicle, so I don't know exactly what might have transpired there.
Did this family, we're not showing them anything, but did they witness the accident itself or come upon it? I mean, is this a heavily traveled road at that time? Because there's traffic everywhere.
No, the family did not witness the collision.
Do you know if the parties live in this area?
That I don't know. I don't know if they do live in the area or not. And in fact, the decedent, we're not even absolutely certain of her identity at this point. So we have a suspicion, but we're not certain. So at a later point, the medical examiner will release that information.
Thank you so much, Sergeant.
You're welcome.